Hi, good morning, dear children. How are you? Okay, fine. What are the things we discussed in the last class? We learned from the last topic how the names of Bharat and India originated. Did you read the textbook? Okay, good. Our next topic is finding out about the past. Listen to the board. Finding out about the past. This is our next topic. There are several ways to find out the past. We can search for it. We can search things to know the past. And we can read books. Here, in this topic, there are some books mentioned. They are called manuscripts. The word is not familiar to you. Listen, manuscripts. Listen to the board. Years ago, the people recorded things on some leaves or some books. That books are called manuscripts. The pages of these books are actually the bark of a tree. Bark, what is that? The skin of a tree called birk tree. Birk or birch, you can say that. Birch tree. This tree growing on Himalayas. Okay, the specially prepared bark of a tree called birch, which grows in Himalayas. Okay, on that thing or palm leaf also people used to write the things. And the pages of these books are the bark of the birch tree or palm leaves. Okay, the word manuscripts derived from the Latin word manu. This is a Latin word. From this word, the word manuscripts written, that means manu means hand in Latin. Manu means hand in Latin. So, these records are written by hand. That's why these are called manuscripts. Specially prepared bark of the tree called birch, and on palm leaves these manuscripts prepared. You can see the picture in your textbook. Down, we can see here a page from a palm leaf. We can see manuscript. This manuscript was written about 1,000 years ago. Here given one page from a manuscript. This written about 1,000 years ago. A palm leaves were cut into pages and tied together to make books. Palm leaves cut into pages and they tied together to make the book. Such a way we can see the manuscripts. Okay, so the important thing we studied here, what are manuscripts? What are manuscripts? The books prepared by the people 1,000 years ago, specially prepared bark of a tree called birch, which grows in Himalayas, or on palm leaves. The manuscript prepared on these things. Okay, and the manuscript, the word derived from the Latin word manu means hand. Okay. Over the years, many manuscripts were eaten away by insects. Some were destroyed but many have survived, often preserved in temples and monasteries. You want to remember, these things are prepared thousands years ago. Okay, so many of them destroyed. The insects eaten, destroyed all some of them, and some of the things survived. Maybe some damages should be there. Anyhow, the survived things are kept in, preserved in temples and monasteries where the monks lived. Sannyasis, saints lived, monasteries. In temples and monasteries, some of the manuscripts protected or preserved there. These books dealt with all kinds of subjects. In manuscripts, which are the subjects we can see mentioned in the manuscripts? Religious beliefs and practices. The religious beliefs and practices existed in that period, and the lives of kings, medicine and science. Okay, these were the subjects mentioned in the manuscripts. Which are they? Religious beliefs and practices, lives of kings, medicine and science. Besides, there were epics, poems, plays. See, epics. What is epic? Ramayana, Mahabharata. Did you hear all these things? Epics. Epics. For example, Ramayana and Mahabharata. Epics. Listen to the board. Epics. For example, Ramayana, Mahabharata. These are famous epics. So, the subjects mentioned in the manuscripts were religious beliefs and practices, lives of kings, medicine and science, and there were epics, poems and plays, also dramas. All these things are mentioned in the manuscripts. Many of these were written in Sanskrit. Many of the manuscripts were written in the language Sanskrit. Sanskrit language. Some of the things written in Prakrit. Prakrit, another language. Prakrit language. Prakrit is a language used by the ordinary people. The manuscripts were written in Sanskrit and in Prakrit language, the language used by the ordinary people. The common people used the Prakrit language. And in Tamil also. And in Tamil also these books were written. So, the subjects of manuscripts were religious beliefs and practices, lives of kings, medicines and science. Then epics, poems, plays, all these things mentioned in the manuscripts. These manuscripts were written in Sanskrit and the Prakrit language, the ordinary people's language, Prakrit language, and in Tamil also we can see some of these manuscripts. Okay, so you learned about what are manuscripts. Okay, then the next thing we have to discuss is inscriptions. Listen, inscriptions. Inscriptions. These are writings on hard surfaces. See, inscriptions also writings, but not on palm leaves or bark of the tree. These inscriptions are the writings on rough things such as stone or metal, over the stone or any metal. Inscriptions are the writings over hard surfaces. For example, stone or metal. Sometimes kings got their messages, got their orders inscribed so that people could see, read and obey them. Usually at that time the kings gave their orders to the people in the form of inscriptions. They will write the things on hard surfaces so the people can come and read all these things. There are other kinds of inscriptions as well where men and women recorded what they did. Kings, queens, all types of people recorded their things on this type of inscriptions, or in the form of inscriptions people recorded their things, especially kings and queens, about their battle, about their life. They recorded. All these are called inscriptions. Inscriptions, also writings like manuscripts, but on hard surfaces like rough surfaces like stone or metal. Okay, usually kings gave orders to their people, subjects, and they can come and read all these things. Okay, kings and queens often kept records of their victories in the battles. Okay, so these are called inscriptions. The next thing we have to study, the picture is given here. See, this is an old inscription. In the textbook you can see the picture. This on a metal sheet, the inscription prepared. There were many other things that were made and used in the past. Many things people used in the past. Thousands of years ago, people used different things in their life. The people, that means the historians, need to record all the things. For that, they need to find out what are the things the people used in the past. To check all the things or to search these type of things, there are some people. They are called archaeologists. Listen. Archaeologists. Who are archaeologists? They study the remains of buildings made of stone and brick, paintings and sculpture. Archaeologists study the remains of the balance of the ruined buildings or damaged buildings, and the sculptures. What are sculptures? Models. Okay, models carved by stone. Okay, that type of things, and brick over the brick, paintings. All these things find out by the archaeologist. Okay, archaeologists, they study about the remains of buildings made of stone and brick, paintings and sculpture. All these things they find out and they study about all these things and recorded the related matters they recorded. With the help of all these things, the historians prepared the history of that time. Okay. They also explore and excavate. Listen. Explore and they also explore and excavate. That means they investigate or they travel through here and there, and they excavate means dig under the surface of the earth. They dig the surface of the earth. All these remains should be deep under the earth. The archaeologists dig the land and find out the things, and they study over that matters, and they finally they will reach in the conclusion. With the help of all these things, historians find out all the things happened in the past. Okay. They find out tools, weapons, pots, pans, ornaments. What are the things the people used in that period? They will get only some small pieces of all the things. Not a complete thing they will not get. The archaeologists only the remains. With the help of that thing, they find out many things. Okay. Objects that are made of hard, imperishable substances usually survive for a long time. If they find out the things, some may be completely damaged. The imperishable things, that means some things may be everlasting. Such things they will get properly. Other things may have destroyed but from the remains they will find out the things. Okay, with the help of all the things, the historians recorded the history of the people who lived thousands of years ago. So, the main things we discussed today are manuscripts, inscriptions and the archaeologists. Okay, so read the textbook very carefully. And I will send you homework, prepare it very well and send it to me. Okay, thank you.